What if I told you that your story didn't begin with your birth, or even with the first humans? What if it began nearly 13.8 billion years ago in a universe with no stars, no planets, and no life? How did a tiny spark become galaxy? How did lifeless dust become oceans, forests, civilizations, and ultimately you? This is the incredible journey of our universe from Big Bang to the birth of Earth, the rise of humanity, the great empires that shaped history, world changing ideas, global conflicts, and the modern age. This isn't the story of past, it's the story of every person who has ever lived and the future that we are creating together. Welcome to the greatest story ever told, the complete history of humanity. Before time, before stars, before planets, before life itself, there was only silence. No light pierced the darkness, no galaxies drifted through space. There was no earth, no sun, no sky, only an unimaginable emptiness beyond human understanding. Then, around 13.8 billion years ago, everything changed. A tiny point, small than anything, released an unimaginable burst of energy in less than a heartbeat. The universe began expanding at incredible speed. Space itself stretched outward. Time began its endless march. Matter and energy came into existence together, setting the stage for every star, every planet, and every living creature that would ever exist. It was the birth of reality itself. Every atom in your body, every mountain, every ocean, and every distant galaxy can trace its origin back into an extraordinary moment. From a single spark emerged a universe filled with infinite possibilities. The greatest story ever told had just begun. For millions of years after the birth of universe, darkness still dominated the cosmos. Tiny particles drifted through endless space, slowly gathered under the invisible pull of gravity. As these clouds grew larger, they became hotter and denser. With an intense pressure, the first stars burst out into life, illuminating the mother universe for the very first time. The beautiful lights in the sky, stars, emerged. They became cosmic factories forging the elements that would one day form planets, oceans, mountains, and even human beings. Deep within these blazing stars, hydrogen transformed into helium, and over millions of years, heavier elements like carbon, oxygen, iron, and gold were created. When these giant stars reached the end of their lives, they exploded in spectacular supernovas, scattering their precious elements across the universe. Those ancient explosions seeded future generations of stars and planets. We are all made of stardust. Every breath we take contains atoms born inside these long dead stars. Around 4.5 billion years ago, one small corner of our galaxy gave birth to something extraordinary with a swirling disk of dust and rock. Countless fragments collided again and again. Over millions of years, these violent collisions built a new world, our planet Earth. But this early Earth was nothing like the peaceful blue planet we know today. Rivers of molten lava covered its surface. Volcanoes erupted without pause, filling the sky with ash and poisonous gases. Massive asteroids struck the planet with incredible force, reshaping the land again and again. It seemed impossible that life could ever exist in such hostile environment. Yet beneath these chaos, Earth was preparing for remarkable future as the planet slowly cooled. Water vapor condensed into rain. Storms raged for thousands of years, filling enormous basins and creating the first oceans. These water would become the cradle of life, where one of the greatest miracles in the history of universe was about to unfold. Hidden beneath the Earth's ancient oceans far from sunlight, something extraordinary began. Tiny chemical molecules combined in ways that scientists are still striving to understand. At some point, these simple molecules became something entirely new. They became alive. The first living cells were invisible to the naked eye, with no eyes, no brains, no limbs. Yet they possessed the most incredible ability of all. They could grow, reproduce, and adapt to the nature. For billions of years, these tiny organisms slowly transformed the planet. Some learned to capture energy from sunlight through photosynthesis, releasing oxygen into atmosphere. At first, this oxygen was deadly to many early life forms. Eventually, they adapted and made possible to a richer, more complex world. Every tree, every fish, every bird, every human being can trace their ancestry back to these humble microscopic pioneers. They were Earth's first survivors, and without them, none of the world would exist today. Over millions of years, life continued to evaluate. Giant reptiles disappeared, mammals flourished, and eventually, a remarkable species were also being emerged. And the new species are human beings. Our ancestors were not the strongest creatures on earth. They lacked sharp claws, powerful jaws, and incredible speed, yet they possessed something far from more valuable curiosity, intelligence, and the ability to work together. They learned to shape stone into tools, making hunting more effective. They discovered fire safety and storytelling around glowing campfires. Knowledge passed from one generation to the next. Soon, they began creating art, painting animals and mysterious symbols on cave walls. These images were more than decoration. They were among humanity's first attempts to preserve memories, beliefs, and dreams. With every discovery, humans became more than anything. They became creators. Their journey just began, and world eventually reshaped their entire planet. For thousands of years, humans wandered the earth as hunters and gatherers, following migrating animals and searching wild plants. Life was uncertain, and every season brought new challenges. Then came one of the greatest turning points in human history. People began to notice that seeds dropped into the soil would grow into new plant. Instead of chasing food, they could grow it. The agricultural revolution changed everything. Families settled near rivers, cultivated fertile land and cattle. Small camps gradually transformed into permanent villages. For the first time, the people could store food for the future. The stable food supplies allowed population to grow and communities become larger and more organized. Farmers, builders, potters, and craftsmen each played important roles in society. The simple act of planting a seed laid the foundation for cities, kingdoms, and civilizations that would shape the future of humanity. As villages prospered, some grew into magnificent cities along the banks of great rivers. Something extraordinary happened. Civilizations emerged, each developing it into its own culture, traditions, and achievements. In Egypt, the Nile River nourished the fertile lands where towering pyramids rose as symbols of royal power between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers. Mesopotamia has become home to some of the world's earliest cities and known systems of writings. Farther east, the people of Indus Valley built remarkably planned cities with advanced drainage systems, while ancient China developed powerful kingdoms, bronze technology, and rich cultural traditions. These civilizations introduced laws, architecture, mathematics, astronomy, and trade networks that connected distant lands. Although separated by vast distances, they shared a common ambition to build societies that would endure for generations. Humanity had entered a new era of innovation, cooperation, and organized civilization. Between roughly 800 and 200 BCE, something extraordinary happened across different parts of the world. Without direct contact, many civilizations began asking the same profound questions. Why are we here? What makes a good life? How should people treat one another? This remarkable period is known as Axial Age, a time when philosophy, ethics, and spiritual thoughts flourished across Asia, the Middle East, and Europe. Instead of relying only on traditional or royal authority, great thinkers encouraged people to seek wisdom through reason, compassion, self discipline, and reflection. Their teachings challenged old beliefs and inspired new ways of understanding humanity and universe. The idea born during this age continues to influence billions of people even today, shaping cultures, religions, laws, and moral values across the world. During this age, many gurukulas and Hindu scholars had taught Vedas, which was the oldest form of studies, the Hinduism, therefore the oldest religion in the world. During the Axial Age, remarkable individuals transformed the way people understand life. In China, the Confucius taught that harmony begins with respect, honesty, and responsibility within families and society. His ideas shaped Chinese civilization for centuries. In North India, Siddhartha Gautama sought freedom from suffering through wisdom, compassion, and mindfulness. His teachings spread across Asia and became the foundation of Buddhism. Meanwhile, in ancient Greece, Socrates encouraged people to question everything. Through thoughtful dialogue, he believed that truth could be discovered by examining our own beliefs and actions. Though separated by thousands of miles, these great teachers shared a common goal, helping people become wiser, kinder, and more just. Their words continue to inspire millions around the world. The ideas born during the Axial Age did not disappear with time. They spread across continents through travelers, teachers, merchants, and pilgrims, influencing generations that followed. Religious traditions and philosophical schools offered guidance during the times of peace and conflict. They inspired great work of art, literature, architecture, and education, leaving a lasting mark on human civilization. Even in today's rapidly changing world, many people continue to look to the ancient teachings of wisdom, purpose, and hope. Concepts such as compassion, justice, honesty, and respect remain essential to building peaceful societies. The actual age reminds us that while civilizations may rise and fall, powerful ideas can outline empires. They continue to shape how we think, how we live, and how we imagine the future of humanity. The story of civilization was only the beginning, and even great empires, discoveries, and global connections were yet to come. Many empires has royal palaces and many pyramids were built with all the knowledge gained by traveling from one place to another place and through pilgrimages as well. The people didn't lost their religious beliefs in this. From the birth of universe to the rise of the greatest civilizations, from the first spark of life to humanity, search for wisdom and faith, this is the only beginning of our extraordinary story. Across thousands of years, people built cities, discovered knowledge, asked profound questions, knowledge, and created ideas that continues to shape our world today. But history does not stop here. Great empires will rise and fall, powerful kingdoms will wage wars and forge alliances. Explorers will cross unknown oceans, revolutionary inventions will transform civilizations. New ideas will reshape politics, science, and human destiny. In the next chapter, we will witness the rise of mighty empires, legendary leaders, and world changing events that forever alter the course of history. Thank you for joining this journey through the first chapters of human civilization. If you enjoyed this documentary, please like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you won't miss the next chapter of our journey through history. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and remember every moment of today becomes the history of tomorrow. Please subscribe to my channel, History Unfolded. Thank you.